Hello, I'm here today. I'm Brad Bork, the owner of National Credit Solutions. We're doing a video testimonial with two people. Of course, this is Karen, and she's a client of ours at National Credit Solutions, and this is Shannon Miller, Karen's consultant. And we're here today to ask Karen how her experience has been and the difference in life today versus NCS 700. So, hi Karen, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good to see you here.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come by and do something like this.
My pleasure.
Tell us, what brought you to NCS?
I was restricted and running into brick walls whenever I tried to apply to get the modest amount of credit for either car repairs or home repairs or such.
Yeah.
So a friend referred me over, and I did a little research, and I tried years and years ago a credit correctional facility, and basically I paid them and I got them to look at my credit once every 6 months, and that was about it. They weren't really doing anything except pulling the credit, and that was pretty much all that was done. And so I was kind of weary of it, but my friend said, give them a try. So I came, talked to Shannon, and just gone off since then.
Yeah, Shannon's definitely one of our best senior consultants. And you know, that's really when people talk to me about joining National Credit Solutions, they always say, I want a 700 credit score, I want an 800 credit score. And I always say, well, that's what you want, but the true want is just like what you said, you know, to be able to put yourself in a situation where, when we're living and we need to be able to do some things, if tomorrow you found out you had to take, if you had $200 in your checking account and you needed a $1,500 flight to LA, you have a way to do that. And I see that freedom being more important at times than what the credit scores really are. So, well, I'm glad we've accomplished that. What kind of credit cards and credit lines did you have coming to NCS?
Zip. My idea of credit, improving my credit, was pay the bills, don't have credit. You know, get one credit card, pay the bills, don't have credit.
So you were in a situation, yeah, and I definitely understand that, because as Shannon and I was talking the other day, when you're in a situation like that and the scores aren't where they need to be and the credit's not where it needs to be, that's how a lot of people get sucked into payday loans and all these loan companies like McKinney Finance and places where there's exuberant interest rates. And so I definitely understand that. What kind of, since you've been with National Credit, how long have you been with National Credit Solutions about?
Slightly,
right at about a year.
About a year.
Yeah.
Well, a year we should have done a lot, that's for sure. What kind of available credit lines, or what kind of credit lines do you have now?
I actually have two with my bank that equal over $30,000, and I also have a credit card that I can use for my vet.
Oh my
And
goodness!
that helps a lot.
Wow.
Because she's almost 19, so she goes from good days to like, I gotta go in the hole for the money.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you that's really good. How's Shannon done? Has Shannon followed up through? I mean, tell me, what is the role, Shannon? What role? Let me ask Shannon this question. What role have you played in Karen's life as far as from start to finish? What do you do, since research and processing in the back in our legal department does all the audits and does all that? But so as far as a consultant, just, you know, where most credit repair companies don't really have consultants, they have order takers. They really don't play a role like in Karen's life as far as getting her from point A to point B where she can have a great life as far as her credit. Now, what have you done there? What do you do to your clients or for Karen to help her?
First is getting them to understand what credit really is.
Yeah, that took a bit.
Most clients don't have a good understanding of what credit is and then how credit works. So like Karen was saying earlier, she just thought that as long as she paid all the bills on time, had one credit card, small credit card limit, then she was doing okay. But when we pulled the credit report, she saw what the scores are. She was blown away that they were so low because she thought she had did everything that she was supposed to do.
Right.
So it's just following up with her, making sure that she follows the program as we outline it. 2, making sure she still understands the process throughout the process, knowing the importance of once we do get the credit, how to maintain the credit. You can get the high credit volume limits, but it's where you keep those balances at every month that's going to make the big difference in raising the credit score. So once she was able to grasp that, then she was able to start understanding and how to utilize that. So then she started saying, well, you know what, if I now have this revolving credit, I have this credit, now I can maybe change this loan, pay it off, reduce my debt. So we started working out a plan to reduce her debt as well as increase her revolving credit. So now with her good credit now, she's not only raised her credit scores, she's also reduced her debt because other loans that she had that were high interest loans, she's been able to transfer them over to her low interest revolving credit that she now has.
Okay, so great. Well, let me ask you, Shannon, have you thought about maybe getting Karen to, from what she's telling me and what she's saying, have you thought about maybe her getting and she may already have a credit card, but have you thought about maybe getting her a checking account with a line of credit on it?
She already does have a checking account with a line of credit.
Oh, so you have got that.
I have got that, and I never even knew that such a thing existed.
Well, good. How much money, if you had to, if it was had a zero balance, how much kind of line of credit did they give you?
They gave me $15,000.
Wow. You've done a good job.
She can buy a car with a line of credit, $15,000
Goodness
just pull out
gracious.
cash.
Well, that would be
Purchase a car.
that would be like a dream if I could bring everybody into our program and to be able to have them go from having to borrow from mama, daddy, friends, co-workers, payday loans, cash advances from their employer, from their family, to be able to cope and go through life where if there is any expenses that you're not anticipating, that you could write a check knowing that line of credit, that is the best thing to have in your life. And I know I love that. I know I go over my limit on the weekends on a daily basis. I mean on a weekend basis. But yeah. But it is something that really does change you. So you think you have a better experience of how credit works and maybe a little less stressful life when it comes to finances?
Oh, absolutely. I still have, she showed me how to certain things, the difference between a revolving account and an installment account. And I thought that if I had something, I was actually doing installment accounts. Or once you paid it off, it was a done deal, and so forth. One of the other things that I've learned is, or been able to do, is taking several of the bills that I had, place them on these credits that I've been able to get.
Awesome.
And which knocks off, I'm paying interest here, paying interest here, paying interest there, and now I'm only paying interest to one person. And I can calculate a lot more what's coming out every month. And that in itself is just decompression.
So it gave you a breathing room to where you weren't stressing about having 15 different accounts to pay for to now just having one account to pay for, but also still saving money because you reduced the interest, you eliminated and paid off some other, credit debt that you had.
Correct.
And still able to maintain good credit and everything as well too.
Correct. And then when I'm looking at something, then I look at it more closely. When you go to a store, oh, we're going to do a credit, here's a credit one. Just don't hold off on that. On that one. That looks like a good one. I don't think so. And I kind of pick and choose now what I'm doing.
Right.
Because your interest rate that you have now with your revolving credit is about 8 or 9%.
On revolving line of credit?
Revolving line of credit
Well, that's
versus
really
it being
good,
14, 15 with some of the other major
up
credit
to
cards.
32%.
Up to 32%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Delaware
and
is 48.
I was in the 20s and the 20 plus
Right.
areas. I'm in the teens now, and
Right.
one of them's in the below 10.
10.
So, and I know that my credit card that I have with my credit union is high maxed because I've been placing a lot of those other bills onto it. It's really nice.
You've probably taken care of a lot of stuff that
I have.
you couldn't have.
Right.
I absolutely have, and it has reduced my master plan. I was reduced from like 5 or 6 years down to like 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
I'm
I
gonna
should be able to
tell
have
you,
that paid off in about a year or two.
I'm gonna tell you a little secret you probably don't know about, but on our website under calculators, you could put the balance of that card in and the interest rate, and you can say, okay, I want that paid off in 24 months, 38 months, or whatever, and it'll take that compounded daily interest rate and tell you what you need to be paying, or it'll give you a plan on exactly the best way to take care of that. So, and that's awesome. The next thing I want to talk about real quick, and I don't think Shannon's probably went here with it. The problem is with coming in with credit like you had versus credit now. Now you're a target. And there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that would love to have your information. So one thing you may want to consider doing is put an extenuating fraud alert on your credit report. Where a lot of people don't know this, but if Shannon wanted to put before there's a purchase made off of my credit report, you must call me at this phone number, and then that way, if you're at Home Depot or Best Buy or somewhere, and you're going to get a 0% on a TV for the next 12 months or whatever, they'll actually have to call Shannon's cell phone prior to giving credit. Now, if they don't do that without on there, then you absolutely are not even responsible for that purchase. So they make sure they do that every time, but that's a lot of times someone will come in with, and anytime, Karen, people start getting $15,000 lines of credit, let me tell you, they like you, and they like your credit report, they like what they see. That's a great place to be, but then again, at the same time, we have to go on the defense just a little bit to protect ourselves so you won't have to ever go through anything like this again.
Right.
And another good idea is to find a monitoring service that will sort of monitor your credit. That way, if anybody ever pulls your credit, you know right then.
LifeLock.
LifeLock.
For years.
Yep, you can do that. And there's a lot of different situations. Who's the one that does it for free, but they only do one bureau? Who is that? Credit Karma?
Credit Karma, but there are a lot of different ones. I think it's just whatever really fits, that individual and, what they're looking for.
Right.
LifeLock is totally different than Credit Karma and ScoreSense and a lot of the others, but they all have different, variations of what they do. So it's just what fits.
Does anybody know what LifeLock does to protect your credit?
24-hour monitoring. They will also, if there's a large or a constant pay going out, then they will send me a text message and say, is this you? Or, and so forth to do that. Or if something's been applied.
How do you think they give that $1 million guarantee that in case someone steals your identity? How do y'all think they do that? You'll never believe this. This is what they do. You know that fraud alert I just told you about? They put that on your credit report. That way, you're not responsible for any fraudulent charges. So, if you're not using LifeLock, then you can do that yourself. The text messages is probably pretty cool though. So, and
For the fraud alert.
Oh yeah. So we probably need to place that.
Okay.
And well, this is great. So I really appreciate it. Do you have any words, or you want to have anything you want to say before we wrap up here?
They are absolutely great. You need to check them out.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
And you can call Karen on her cell phone at no, I'm just kidding. So anyway, Miss Miller, and what's your phone number, Shannon? Right?
214-504-7106.
Or you can check us out on the web at www.ncs70.com. That's ncs700.com. Thank y'all.